I've even had patients that say to me like, "Hey, my dad listened to metal like 24 hours a day. Is it okay if I put some metal on my phone?" And I'm like, as long as it's not
Don't even
disturbing
thank
other
you.
patients, rock
Right?
the fuck out. Um,
Right?
You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Hey. All right, moving on with these superstar nurses. The nurse of the week, my favorite segment, my favorite story every week. We're talking about a nurse that sings not just to one patient that blew up because it was a viral video, because I know that happens all the time. But this is a nurse that makes singing part of her care, right? So we're meeting a singing nurse who helps heal patients with her voice, Kathleen Sarnes. I hope I'm saying that last name right. She is a hospice nurse that loves to sing to her patient. She had this quote that I just needed to share it with the rest of you nurses, healthcare providers out there. She said, "Nursing isn't just giving medications. You're catering to a person's mind, body, and spirit." And then just to back up that sentiment, because I know that sounds all holistically and hugs and kisses BS bullshit, but it's a real thing, all right? To back that up with some studies. So studies suggest that music can help reduce pain and curb anxiety for patients receiving hospice care. Last year, the National Institute of Health awarded $20 million. These are real dollars, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. $20 million over 5 years to Sound Health Initiative to explore the potential of music for treating a wide range of conditions resulting from neurologic and other disorders. I love this story, Adrianne. Singing, is that something you do? Have you ever sang to a patient? Do you ever sing with patients? Is music something you play in your patient's room? How do you deal? Is music something that ever comes up for you?
yes, 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 and yes. I think I covered all those questions.
Yes.
So there, again, on my unit, we do palliative care, which often is end of life. Sometimes it's just symptom management, but music is a constant thing. All the way down to the fact that our beds, like the hospital beds that we have, at the footboard, there's like a touch screen. We can play music and nature sounds on our beds.
What?
Yeah,
Yo.
the beds also can speak a few different languages. They can say some pretty basic phrases.
Are you
So that
serious,
way,
Adrianne?
I'm completely serious.
What kind of beds you guys got?
They're striker beds. There are some things about them that I don't like some little details that I'd like to change. But if I have an end of life patient and say their family isn't able to be there that night, I'm a night nurse. If you don't want to just listen to the sound of an oxygen hissing or
Yes.
monitors down the hall beeping or the conversation at the nurse's station, you turn on a little freaking music.
It's
And
beautiful.
you also have to moderate, like, does this seem to agitate the patient? Does it seem to calm them? But we, in our back room, or in the work room where our doctors and palliative nurse practitioners work during the day, there's like a whole box that's divided by category. We have music from all the decades: classical, country, rock. Like, I've even had patients that say to me like, "Hey, my dad listened to metal like 24 hours a day. Is it okay if I put some metal on my phone?" And I'm like, as long as it's not
Don't even
disturbing
thank
other
you.
patients, rock
Right?
the fuck out. Um,
Right?
but this does, you can see the difference this makes to people. And I've sang to people. I've sang with patients. I've whistled, because I'll be like subconsciously whistling, and then I'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I'll stop." And they'll be like, "No, please, you're a really good whistler." Fun fact about Adrianne, I'm a really good whistler. When I get going, like, I can do, like, I could, yeah. All right. So anyway, we also, we have music therapy. We have boom boxes for all of our
That's
palliative rooms,
beautiful.
so that people, this is very much a thing. And I like to think that as a teaching hospital, we try to be on the front edge of research, and research says that this is a great adjunct to pain medication.
Yes.
So yeah, people say like, "Oh, well, that medication doesn't really help." Might not help if you just take that medicine and keep watching Fox News, but maybe if we do your medicine plus the music you like, plus a heat pack, plus a
Right?
warm blanket, and we turn down the lights, these things can have cumulative positive effects on patients. And then there's that documentary from a few years ago. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's I'll tell you later, and you can put it in the show notes or something, but
Yeah.
there are studies that they've taken music into like nonverbal dementia patients and people who haven't spoken in years. They start singing along with like some fucking Blue Moon or Louis Armstrong or some shit that they sang when they were a teenager. So I mean, we've already seen this is a thing where I'm like, why is the jury still out on this?
Right?
Like we all have that song that can like bring us to tears, you know, or songs that like pump us up and rile us up. Like we can't, I don't know. I think if anyone who denies the power of music on healing, but anyway, to get back to the point, this nurse sings to people, and in the video clip, are you going to play the video clip?
I don't have the video clip, but I can put it in post.
Anyway, in the video clip, she actually says to a patient, you know, she's like in their home, she's like checking his blood pressure. Yes. He's sitting in his armchair. He's got like a heat pack around his neck or whatever. And she's like, what kind of stuff did you used to sing? And he's like, I used to sing Blue Moon. And she just like kicks into Blue Moon. And then he starts singing with her. And meanwhile, the guy's daughter is like in the dining room, just like heart melting because she's like, I don't think my dad would still be here if he didn't have such good nursing care.
Right.
I worked with a nurse a long time ago who she had a beautiful voice, and she'd be like doing people's baths, and she'd just be like singing to them and like singing, you know, Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. And it was just amazing. And it was so natural and happy for her, and people loved it. I'd be like, oh yeah, Beth's going to be your nurse today. And they'd be like, oh, is she the singing nurse? Yeah, totally. She'll sing you some, you know, Color Me Bad or something. It'll be great.
I love it. No, see, you hit on everything I wanted to touch upon. You're right. And like the thing that is crazy is because like when you're in a hospital and you are a nurse, you are a healthcare provider, like everything becomes, I don't want to say factory-like, but you start doing the same things to all the patients because you know what works. And I don't mean factory-like because you have
master techniques.
Exactly.
And you use those techniques.
And when something different, like, but at the same time, as a human being, you know that when you're outside of work, when you're doing your own thing, when you're just living, music is a huge part of literally everybody's life. I don't know a single human being that says, I don't like music. You might not like country. You might not like rap. You might not like whatever. But no
what kind of Philistine is like music?
Right? So
sunshine.
It's just mind-blowing that it's taking us this long to come to like the terms of, yeah, music fucking works. Yeah, because every time I'm going down my assessments every day, you always that option for when you do go through pain is like, what worked? Like, did you do non-pharmacological things? And a lot of the time I'll use distraction, but it's when the TV's on or when the family's there or all of that stuff. But music is a huge distraction and it's super, super healing. It's a beautiful thing. Kathleen Sarnas, if I'm saying that last name right.
Hats off.
Hats off is 100% right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Congratulations. You deserve that and so much more. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate this. If you guys were informed or educated in any way, shape, or form by these stories, please hit that like button. If you liked my presentation of the news, I really suggest you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know every time Q the Nurse drops some hot, fresh press news. Thank you. Catch you next week. Deuces.